Okay, so I am moving on to our second block. Let's see here. And again, what we've been talking about in this block is kind of helping us to move forward to generate some ideas for our next show. So this is kind of talking about doing it backwards. So instead of coming up with it, I want to go do a story about this first. It's kind of thinking of visually what's out there that I could tell visually, and if so, how. So and again, in our shows we can put anything in. It can be video, we can put photos, or even a series of photos, a gif. Is that gif or jip? I never know. Gif.
I believe it's GIF.
Gif, yeah, that's what I call it, but I never know if I'm saying it right. Video. I don't know how to animate, and as I said, I don't know if I told you, I tried to take the summer course, summer before last, on Adobe Animate, and after the first little online session, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't have time for this. But some people who do it love it. But and when we get back in class, we have all the Adobe stuff, so you can more than happy for people to play with it. I had a young lady a couple years ago that used it, who was really good at it and made some cool stuff with it. So, but again, if people know how to do it, we could put animated things in there, maps, anything. So just keep that in mind with as you move forward, that your story does not have to be video. It can be a number of different things. So, and then a lot of times what you are, like what your topic becomes kind of might dictate, what your visuals are. So I like these pro tips. So not what can I make, but what is the point of the story? So you want to show something. So kind of a show and tell story, like show someone how to do something. So that could be you just, showing something, like kind of like sometimes cooking segments. And again, that is something we can add in these shows, like right now, like, hey, you're at home. Let me show you how to make my favorite quarantine treat. You could make something and share a recipe in our next show. Again, I think it would be nice, since we did sort of more of a harder news, like serious content show. I think it would be kind of fun, this next one, to do something lighter and entertainment driven. So maybe someone does a cooking, quick little recipe, showing us how to make something. Excuse me. Or, or like this was saying, like, something artistic, you could show someone how to make something. Show how something works, explain a process. So again, that could be, this just popped into my head. Maybe you could show a quick workout, workout from home. That's kind of the big thing now. Here's some, while you're sitting watching TV, you think you don't have the time and energy to exercise. Well, you're sitting and watching TV. Here's some chair exercises, and show us that. That can be kind of fun. Numbers, stories, data. You can always make a map and put numbers on them, or graphs. So that could be something. So if there's something interesting, data driven, you could make that as your story. Concepts. Let's see. People, of course, now, so this is, I'll have to find one to show you all that we did as a photo assignment a while back, but we could do this for our shows as well. But I had a student, they went around and took photos, and I think it kind of was a lot more like the mental health stuff. And then they got a quote from each student, and then put the quote on the photo. And it actually was really kind of neat, because you had that photo to look at someone, but then a quote from them about whatever I think it might have been bullying or something, but it was really neat. It turned out really well. Again, we can always add audio clips, but I'm also been thinking too, I think it'd be fun for us to do another podcasts like we did. I had a lot of fun doing that, and I think you all did too. So if you all have an idea, because that's something easy. You saw how, I mean, we just do our conversation here, put that together. We can knock a podcast out like super easy. So maybe let's actually maybe plan to do that one day next week, because that's something easy to knock out in between our broadcasts while we're editing them together. That's easy for me to say. So again, those are just, again, some more things to kind of get you thinking. And then I liked this. This is a poster, 6 questions to ask yourself before you start your story. So again, what's the point? What is it not about? So again, remember, we always want to keep things the saying less is more. We don't, because with broadcasts, we want to put things in smaller chunks. You don't want to bog people down with too much information, which forgive me if I've told you all this before. Tristan and Gabriel might remember it from last year, but because again, I grew up in middle and high school doing newspaper. So newspaper is a little bit more longer form. So I remember one time when I was at Channel 36, my executive producer put a pile of, he'd printed out old scripts of mine, just marked up in red, just shorten this, shorten that, shorten this. And just, he's like, you're saying too much. You're putting too much in there. And then another time on my employee review for the year, the section which I kind of took this as a compliment secretly, but his criticism of me was, he literally said, he goes, "You give too much information to people." That was the criticism. And I'm like, okay. Guilty of telling people too much that they need to know. But his point was, and it was taken, point well taken, was that in that I just needed to shorten my stuff up and be more concise instead of, going on and on and on. So what is it not about? Focus, narrow it down. Dream ingredients, again, visuals, sounds, like what do you want to make it? What in a dream world, if you had access, and then once we decide if you have access, what can we make do with? I had a little young lady in my Crawford middle school class yesterday that she's in my class and the little school broadcast they do at Crawford, and they're doing teacher profiles right now. So we did a Zoom interview just like this. And in her style, she showed me a sample she did. She just cut it back Q&A. So when she goes to edit it, she cuts it down, and then she'd show her asking the question and then me answering it. And so she just it was like a 17-minute interview. She asked me questions, and then she'll edit it, narrow it down of what she liked. So you could do that with teachers. You could do that with students on any topics, maybe find something fun of how are you passing the time, or whatever you want. Just, it could be a fun Q&A, or it could be even something super random, like kind of like and I'll have to find this because I saw a sample of it, like you maybe have heard of speed dating, where people go and you get like 5 minutes with someone, and it's like quick fire questions. You could do something fun with a friend and do a quick fire question session on something, or even do it with a teacher, like, okay, and hometown, pets, favorite color, do something fun like that with a teacher, quick fire. I think that could be kind of entertaining, because sometimes if you're doing it quick fire, they might not, next, that could be fun. So think of something like that. So again, all of this kind of goes into the next one. How will I engage my audience and hold them? If you kind of have these other things, the top compelling topic, and then the ingredients, you're going to hold them, but still always keep that in mind. That's number one. How are you going to hold them? Because you don't want people to click away from us. And then this is more when we're doing stuff that's, more hard news, but balance, making sure that it's balanced. And then two, whoever you're giving a voice to, that you're being fair. We always want to be fair and honest and represent people well. We don't want to You know, it's a powerful thing that we do, giving people the platform and a voice, but we want to make sure we represent them fairly, because especially with visuals, there are ways, subtle but dangerous ways that people can reinforce stereotypes, or so we have to be really careful that we're being fair with how we're portraying people. And then we want people to remember us. We want them to remember our shows, be highly memorable for the right reasons. I've seen things before that are memorable for all the wrong reasons. So you don't want people but like, oh, I remember that show they did. Woo, it was bad. Like, you want it to be memorable for all of the right reasons. So those are, again, just some things to kind of keep a lookout for. So what I'm going to want you to do, and I'll type this up here and post it for tomorrow, is, and I might even, in fact, I probably will. I'll probably toss in a Google form maybe with some ideas for you, kind of maybe driven off of that 6 questions poster, so we can, that way you'll have, you know, tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday to be thinking of ideas. That way Monday, my goal is Monday when we, nope, not Monday, Tuesday. We do not have school Monday. 3-day weekend, y'all. Nice. Okay, so that way when we come back Tuesday, we'll kind of already have our ideas for our show. We'll discuss them, we'll put it together, and go from there. So look for that. And then, and again, just have it done before we come to class Monday. And then, as you can see here for tomorrow, and I'll post this here as soon as I get off. If you want to go, I would go ahead and knock it out. But here's a weekly grade for you, a discussion question. Here, I'll go ahead and show it to you. And I really think that what we did, like Amaya, you looked beautiful for the show. I can tell that you dressed up, you did your hair, your makeup, and like put on, like, you dressed to anchor your little segment. Beautiful. I mean, you looked professional. You look like a real anchor. And so, you know, and Caitlin, you know, I could, because normally she has her hair up, but she brushed her hair. Like, you all looked beautiful and wonderful for that. So again, so this is your discussion question. How do your actions, behaviors, and appearance reflect? And so this is kind of getting kind of not only what we're doing for broadcast, but I'm kind of embedding, you know, just sort of the general career preparation things that we do at our school. But you're welcome, Amaya. So how do our actions, behaviors, and appearance reflect on the reputation of the company, or in this case, our school you work for? So we're doing a broadcast. We're representing Eastside, and we're representing the class you're in program. So that's kind of what we just said. You don't want to be memorable for the wrong reasons. Like, boy, they act like clowns when they're on. No, you want them to be like, man, that was pretty darn good and pretty professional and like really actually interesting. And then what can you do to make a professional impression? So whatever you think that is for you, what is that? Is it, do you think it's how you dress? Is it how you carry yourself? And when I say carry myself, you know, how do I present myself? Do I like come in to, you know, smacking on gum on my phone? Like, does that make a professional impression when I'm trying to go to a professional? Yeah, no, says Gabriel. Now, let's keep in mind, I had a few years ago, I was complimenting a student, you know, just what a nice, young, wonderful, professional young man he was. And I remember some of the kids were like, whatever, Miss Roush, don't be fooled. You should see him when he's outside of school. I said, outside of school when he's hanging out with his buddies, I wouldn't expect him to be like, yes, ma'am. Yeah, like that's fine. When you're, so that's, you know, different things. We all act, and it's not that we're being phony or anything. It's just, I mean, because I'm being me right now, but I'm being me in where I've got my teacher hat on, you know. But when I'm with my friends, I might be, I mean, I don't feel like I'm that different, but like I might be a little bit more laid back. Or when I'm at home, I might be, I mean, sometimes I'm sitting here with my mom, I'm a little goofy, you know. I might say something or make a bet. I'm still her daughter. So I might, and she'll be like, "You're goofy." So that we all act a little differently from where we are. So it's not that you're being phony; you're still being your true, genuine self. But in certain circumstances, you behave certain ways. So I would go. So let me publish it now before I forget. So go ahead, y'all. Since we're here and you're getting out super early today, go ahead and go answer that. And actually, I am not going to require, I know in the rubric it says, I want you to go respond to other people. You may, if you want to, respond to a classmate unless you want. I'm just going to give you the points for that. So, because I mainly just want you all to give me your own and share with the class your own ideas of all that. So on that one section on the rubric here, I'll give you the points on. I'm not going to require you to go back and comment on someone else's. So go ahead and get that done. That way you're done with that part of your Friday assignment, and I'll put that grade in for you. And then as I said, I'm going to go ahead and just make it easier and guide you. I'm going to make a Google form here when we get off for your idea for next week. But again, let's just try to think of something. Again, it could be a cooking segment, let's think of something to do a show next week that's a little bit more entertainment, lighter driven. So excuse me. With that, do you all have any questions or some contributions, anything you'd like to add? None? Okay, well, as you see, you are getting out super early today for both blocks. You do not need to return at 9:35. Again, you're online right now. Go knock out that discussion question. Get it done. And then, as I said, I'm going to have that Google form posted here very soon. Tyrone and I will look to get his sports segment dropped in there. As soon as I'm done with Tyrone, I'm going to go ahead and post that Google form if you already kind of have some ideas in your head of what you want for that next show. Go ahead and knock that out, and then you'll be done. Okay. So if you all do not have anything else, and again, weather permitting, either Saturday, Sunday, Monday, expect a knock on your door from me with your Valentine's treat. And otherwise, enjoy the 3-day weekend. And I will see you all Tuesday. Tyrone, stick on with me. But otherwise, I'll see y'all Tuesday. And when I knock on your door, if the weather's nice. All right. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye. All right, Tyrone.